Scott Lara, thecruisegenius.com, president of militaryfairs.com, set jetting. I was doing some research for this video on my predictions for 2026 travel. And I come up with this term, set jetting, and I guess people watch these Netflix shows and see these sets, Downtown Abbey, whatever. And I guess the travel industry is picking up on this, river cruises especially, going to these places that people see on TV, and they want to go to these places. Now, I have to give credit to Jason Buchema, the founder of Wet Travel, the founder of Groove Cruise, and I was on the 2014 Groove Cruise, and I've said it in many of my videos, how much I love Jason. He changed my life. Thank you, Jason Buchema of Wet Travel, Groove Cruise. What Groove Cruise did and what he created when he was younger, he was on the deck of a ship and he looked down at the Lido deck at whatever, 10, 11, 12 o'clock and saw how dead it was. And he said, what if I got a DJ and some of my friends, we could really have a great fun time here on the open sea. And Jason created Groove Cruise, and now it's huge. I mean, it sells out every time. Amazing DJs, people from all over the world. And when I went on the Groove Cruise, I'm sitting there on the Lido deck, and somebody from Paris walks up, and somebody from Germany walks up, and I go, guys, and I said, why are you here? We're here for the music. We're here for the music. And this is when Darude was on the Groove Cruise. Darude, yeah, Google sandstorm. But the thing is that with this set jetting, it's almost the same thing where people have an idea or they see something. Like how many people have been to like Ultra or EDC or these other events where there's EDM, and now you go on a cruise to experience it. That's what this set jetting is. People see something or they're aware of something and they do it. You know, on cruises, they have the Star Trek cruise, which is huge. They have country western cruises. I went actually on the Blake Shelton and Friends cruise years ago. And the one thing Jason Buchema taught me, and I think he taught a lot of people, don't buy things, buy experiences. And I tell you, as you get older, and you realize this, because if you have a lot of things, you're going to have kids and grandkids that are going to want those things, the Yadros or the cars or the silverware, the china, the depression glass. And then, you know, that's the worst part about when people die. People fight over the inheritance. You know, and Timmy wanted the china, but Brittany came in and grabbed the china before Timmy did. But going back to this set jetting, Downtown Abbey, all these, and again, this may not be set jetting, but myself, I'm a U.S. Navy veteran, and I'm putting together a group cruise. I haven't decided on the cruise line yet. I'm kind of talking to a lot of different river cruise lines for veterans to visit World War II sites. And maybe not even the veterans, and yes, of course, the veterans, because I'm working with the Non-Commissioned Officers Association on it, but family members of veterans, like sons and daughters who heard their dads or grandpas talk about Normandy or all these places. Maybe they want to step on the beach that their dad or grandpa stepped on. So I'm working on putting that kind of a group cruise together, and of course with militaryfairs.com, doing the airfare and the hotels for getting those folks on there. But this set jetting thing, really, I just stumbled upon it doing my research about predictions for 2026. So let's talk about predictions for 2026. What I've been reading is AAA says that cruising is going to continue to go through the roof, and that's why MSC and all these other cruise lines are building more and more cruise ships, because they see the demand, even though the cruise industry has kind of gone the other way. Scott, what do you mean by that, going the other way? They got all these private islands and the ships are becoming the amusement parks. Well, if you've looked at YouTube videos like I have, a lot of my brothers and sisters in the space are complaining about how, 10 years ago, the chocolate on the pillow and all these midnight buffet, and now the cruise lines are cutting back because of the money, even though they're making record profits. At least some of the cruise lines are. Fewer staff, cleaning rooms. Back in the day, you could have your cabin tidied up 2 or 3 times a day. And so that's kind of changed. But that's on a totally different level conversation about that. But even with those cutbacks, cruising continues to be very popular. Virgin Voyages, Sir Richard Branson, I've said this on many of my videos, thank you for that great experience on Virgin Voyages. And I actually sailed on the Scarlet Lady years ago. Now, there was a review recently by Ben and David. They kind of, threw some rocks at Virgin Voyages. I think it was about the handicap stuff where they saw a handicap, and if I'm not getting it right, I mean, just forgive me on this, but about the handicap services. That took a long time for somebody who was handicapped to get on the ship. So Ben and David, they really threw a rock there. But when you look at MSC, their quality is continuing to improve, their food quality. I've been on Icon of the Seas, amazing ship, lots of free food options. Been on World America, you got the bumper cars, you got the swing that swings way out there. Celebrate holiday. Drew Barrymore, Orlando Bloom. Carnival, that's kind of a different story. Carnival just came out with another update to their changing of their loyalty program. And I would reach over and get my platinum card, but it'd look weird if I did it. But I'm platinum on Carnival. I think they're giving us a couple extra months to make diamond. And then once you're diamond forever. That's a whole different story on Carnival. I'll just leave it at that. Will I ever sail on Carnival again? Probably not. I took my grandsons on Carnival, and my daughter said no. And so the grandsons loved MSC, the seashore. My wife and I love Celebrity because that's our demographic, 50 plus, fewer cane, crutch, wheelchair, fewer kids, great food, great service. And we love the Solstice class ships. But as you maybe have noticed, if you read Travel Pulse, all you got to do is Google Scott Lara Travel Pulse. You'll see my article that I wrote for them regarding my conversion, my eyes opening up to river cruises. And I love river cruises now. Now, the only bad thing is that 8-hour flight over there. And we all know that Celebrity is now getting into the river cruise business. And so they see a huge opportunity, to build. I mean, they sold out like that quick, and the ships aren't even built yet. But I've been on AMA Waterways, AMA Magna, and I was on the Riviera Travel MS George Elliott. Love river cruising. The food, the experience, seeing the sights, there's nothing like it. But you got to go the right time of the year. You got to look at your airfare and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, set jetting. That's what I want to talk about, and I think it's a great trend. Travel is going to be going up in 2026. Last thing I want to say is don't wait, don't hesitate. Don't ask your 1,000 friends if they want to go or not and pray about it and look at it, blah, blah, blah. If you want to do it, book it. Book it. Because things are so unstable now, geopolitically, economically. We're going to be looking at the budget again here at the end of January for the U.S. We may be looking at another government shutdown if they can't put it together. So if you want to do something, Cancun, book it now. Book your airfare today at militaryfares.com if you're a member of the military or a veteran. You can reach out to me, Scott, at militaryfares.com. If you want to go on a cruise, I can help you with that. You can book the airfare and hotels right on militaryfares.com, and there's an 800 number or 888 number you can call directly if you have any questions. Last thing I'm going to say is this, 400 trillion to 1. And Gary Vaynerchuk talks about this. You have a 400 trillion to 1 shot of being here in this body. I know a lot of people who have died over the last couple of years, age 50 and below. My mom's like 80 something. My mother-in-law is 80 something. And you got to travel while you're young and able. You're not frail and feeble, because you're going to be able to experience it better. I've read a lot where you can always make more money, but you can't have more time. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, if you want to make more money, you got to be creative on how you do it, AI or whatever. But when you get older like that, it makes it even more difficult. And the last thing Gary says that I'll say right now is that the worst poison is regret. You don't want to sit in a nursing home saying, I shoulda. And I've been around people in nursing homes in my former career in home health care. I went to nursing homes all the time. And people were, I wish I would have X, I wish I would have Y. Well, if I can encourage you to X and Y, go out and do it. Scott Lara, thecruisegenius.com, president of militaryfairs.com, set jetting. Get out there and travel. Happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays. I'll talk to you soon.